Welcome to our Pathwork Village. And we say that with love because it means everybody here matters. Everybody here has a role to play. Just by being here, just by bringing what you got. So thank you for that. So we'll just sort of fill into our seat for a moment and give anybody else that wants to be here a chance to arrive. Now's the time. Come on in. So here is what's calling us today. Love is what we're born with. Fear is what we learned here. Marianne Williamson. We're here to raise our vibration together. Just to say again, what we're here to do, it's to raise our vibration together, to have an experience of connection and grace that's already inside each one of us, yet comes alive in a special way when we gather together like we are here, with intention, willingness, longing. We're here to help each other uncover and connect with that love that we're born with, and release with new wisdom the next layer of fear that we learned. So how do we do that here? We do it by noticing everything that is going on inside of us and welcoming it just as it is, because this is a safe place. And we are supported so deeply and authentically together. This is the direct route to becoming present. Just to express openly and without story or theory, and be witnessed and welcomed for that intimacy of your sharing. So remember, we're not here to share ideas or discuss concepts or to give even well-meaning advice. What is most welcome is when you share anytime what you're noticing inside you, without any need to tell the story attached to it. Now we can all feel our own version of experience with you alongside yours. We can immediately relate to your direct experience, whereas the attached story keeps us and actually you from that. I feel you feeling me, Thomas Hubel says. Feel me feeling you. Feel yourself feeling the people here. Feel them feeling you. Grace is always present. We imagine it somewhere high in the sky, far away. It's really inside us, inside our heart. The spring gushing forth 24 hours a day. And we're here to let ourselves swim in that together. So take a moment and get a fresh seat. And just wiggle for a moment, let the spine find a comfortable place. Let the head rock a little bit. back and forth, finding a natural spot to come to rest on the spine. Feeling your feet on the floor and hands just coming to rest in the most natural way, wherever that is for you. Gently let your eyes soften as we say, go inside. Go inside starts with a direction, yet enters a dimension already here. Just waiting for this very moment of our turning to it. Make a commitment here and now to bring all of yourself here that you can, and to stay with this one breath at a time. We can all do this for one breath. Let each breath be the one and only breath. That's all there is to it. There's nothing to do. Let the breath do everything. Let this very breath breathe you. Surrender to this. Life wants you. Life knows who you are and is here for and with you in every possible way. In every way possible. Keep saying yes to this very breath right now. It's the only one there is. The last one is gone forever. The next one isn't born yet, and indeed may never come. Let this breath breathing you be enough all by itself. All of heaven and earth is in it. This you can trust. Let this very breath be an act of devotion to yourself, with yourself. Devotion is the fuel for faith. Faith is the gateway to freedom and liberation. Visualize yourself a flower growing in a garden. Feel your roots going down into the earth. Feel the top of you pointing up to heaven, to the sky. You notice things are pretty dry. You're getting thirsty. Fear sets in. What am I going to do? I'm going to die. Suddenly, you feel some rain coming down. First, there's relief. I'm going to be okay. The rain gets stronger and stronger. The wind blows fiercer and harder. Now the rain is coming down in sheets. You find yourself flattened to the ground. I'm dead. What am I going to do? I can't move. Suddenly, the rain stops. The wind is calm. Everything is quiet. You hear a voice you recognize. I'm here with you. The sun comes out and you feel it warming you, drying you, bringing you back to life. Feel the sun drawing you back up. Feel the life force coming in through your roots in the earth. Sending vital energy into every cell. As you start to reach towards the sky. Feel your hands now gently moving up, your arms finding a way to reach towards the sky. A gentle breeze starts to move. Feel yourself swaying back and forth in the dance of life. Feel your spine going down into the earth and up towards the sky at the same time. You hear the same voice again saying, I'm here with you. All is well. All is well. taking all the sweet time in the world. Gently bringing yourself back without leaving entirely where you are now. Letting the eyes open softly in their own way when they're ready. Drinking in the faces on the screen. Real people. Let's just take a moment and in this interlude between the meditation and being here together. The both and the inner awareness and the inclusion of brothers and sisters, people you know and people you don't know yet. So we're going to do our go round now just to introduce ourselves, and what we invite you to do is say your name and where on the planet you are so we can have a light go off on the globe. And just a few words about what you're noticing inside you right this moment, right here and now. Bring us right in. Anybody can begin.
So I can go. Can you hear me?
Yes, Richard, we
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not Richard.
can.
Let me make that clear to start. I'm Jenny Bond, and I'm in Annapolis, Maryland, and I'm feeling just a special calmness and presence right now that I really appreciate.
Mm-hmm. Welcome, Jen. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Pam Chubbuck, and I am in Maine, right at the base of the Denny's River going into the Denny's Bay. It's lovely here. I just had a little emergency with my dog, but that kind of went by. So he's allergic to bee stings, and he just got stung. So we dealt with that with homeopathy, and he's okay now. Anyway, I'm very glad to be here and see you all. Thanks.
Welcome, Pam, as always.
Thank you.
I'm Laura Wager. I'm in northern Michigan, and I feel like I'm supposed to be right here, right now.
Beautiful, Laura. Welcome. There's a spot for you for sure.
I'm Laura's cousin, Rita. I'm in Wellington, Florida, so we're pretty far apart, but I also feel like I'm supposed to be here at Laura's invitation. So I think it's all connecting.
Welcome, Rita.
Thanks.
My name is Kay. I'm in between you two in North Carolina, Chapel. Excuse me, I'm in Durham, and I too am here because I was drawn to come this morning. And Brian, your opening put a smile on my face and helped me to realize why I was drawn to be here. I'm feeling some activation in both my third and fourth chakras, but I feel grounded and present.
Mm-hmm. Welcome, Kay.
Hi, I'm Agathe. I'm in Quebec, 5 hours east by ferry from the coast in a little island. And I'm feeling in a very calm place where words are not easy to come. I feel like being in silence, listening.
Mhm. Welcome, and will you say your name one more time?
Agathe.
Agathe, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Irene, I'm in Rome, Italy, and hi Kay. Hi everyone, Elisa, Brian. Thank you, Agathe. I feel the same, like deep calm, and it's hard to speak.
Mhm. Welcome, Elena.
I'm based in Italy as well. My name is Elisa, and in Prato, it's the central part of Italy. Good to see some familiar faces and good to see some new faces. And I felt that this life force during the meditation I recognize this life force. And even if the storm can be for a very long time, but the life force is still there to support us. That's what I feel.
Mm-hmm. Welcome, Elisa. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Well, I can go. I'm Chris Walker, and I am in Charlottesville, Virginia. And it's a beautiful meditation, Brian. I'm having trouble settling a bit. I'm just before getting online, I had an interaction that made me angry, and nothing big, but it's still, I'm angry about being angry.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have been throughout the weekend in this incredible, peaceful, deep space. I found some meditation music that just brings me very deep, and I've had some amazing grief experiences that felt very healing, and I've been really grateful for that. And so I'm angry about being angry right now. So.
I'm laughing, yet it's sort of with relief at the normalization of our human predicament. I can feel my own. Anyone else has some of that? Yes, I get it. Welcome,
Yes.
Chris.
Chris, thank you so much for saying I'm angry at being angry. This has been a predominant experience for me in the last week, and I just chuckled as soon as you said it. It's like, so angry that I'm so angry. And thank you. I'm Yvonne. I'm in Daleville, Virginia, and I'm feeling a mix of peace as well as being kind of scattered, but that anger at being angry feels grounding to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Karen from Shenandoah, Virginia, and I'd say I'm feeling calm and energized. So, thank you.
Glad you're here, Karen.
I'm Dan. I'm in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm feeling a little heavy and resisting that.
Welcome, Dan.
Hello, everyone. This is Saida, and I'm in Copenhagen, in Denmark. And I feel I feel calmness and acceptance right now. and presence too.
Welcome, Saida.
Thank you.
I'm Frank in Richmond, Virginia, also. And I enjoyed the meditation, Brian, but kind of made me realize how little I actually feel that I am supported.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of have mixed feelings about the
Yeah.
experience.
Welcome as you are, Frank. The both and.
Thank you.
No buts, it just is. So anyone else who hasn't spoken yet, it's hard for me to keep track.
I want to introduce Rodney, my husband. I invited him to come today, especially
Welcome.
because of this topic.
Welcome.
It's a surprising joy to be invited to join Pam today. I'm looking forward to experiencing this with you guys, and hoping to remember some names as we go along here too. So thank you for doing this and allowing me to join in.
Well, of course, you're so welcome. Glad you're here. Alex, were you going to say something? Yeah, I still can't. You're muted still. That's okay. You're just fine, just the way you are. So it's my turn, and I always hope there's somebody else that hasn't gone yet, so I don't have to say something yet. It's an opportunity for me to keep listening to what I say to you, which is there's nothing you have to do to be here. Just be here. Just be where you are. And I'm going to try that on. So my name is Brian. I live in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, on the eastern part of the U.S. And I'm feeling excited. I like being here. This is really the high point of my month. I'm also nervous because of the seat I'm sitting in. A certain role I have to play, yet I want to sit in it lightly and not take it too seriously. So, and as always, I have some things that I brought that I want to share. And I ask for your patience if it seems like a stream of words. I spent a lot of time trying to say which words I can leave out, because what I'm really wanting to bring is experience, is aliveness and embodiment and feeling, all of which are really my fascination in my own life. How much of that I've missed out on? How much of it is actually here, so close by, waiting me to let go of this or that, so I can just really experience the wonder of being a spiritual being in a human body. You know, those of you that have been here before, you know that we focus a great deal on shifting our identification to our spiritual self. The spirit in us inside the human form. because we need that shift in our awareness to release the illusions and the defense that the human side of us is really caught in, weighed down with, to become fully alive and present and embodied. The human part of us spends much of our time stumbling along on the personality level because this is what humans do by default, left unattended. Like wind-up toys. Very busy and then stop and they have to wind themselves back up again. On this human level, we live as if we were the main character in a movie, instead of the one watching and seeing and being moved by all that unfolds and happens. Even when we're willing to look at ourselves, we often struggle by doing that in a general way. Okay, I want to look at myself. Yet healing happens in a specific way. So the more clearly we can see an individual tension within, the easier it is to direct our higher self-compassion, understanding, and love to it. The Course in Miracles has a prayer, help me see the problem so I can turn to it. Right? So as spiritual beings in human form, we each have a personal human identity formed early in life. Remember, we are love. We came here already full of love, and we learn fear, Marianne Williamson reminds us. It helps so much to see what our fear is made of. And today, I want to offer that it's made of 3 primary things that are so helpful to see. Our learned helplessness, our learned hopelessness, and our learned worthlessness are central parts of this learned identity. These are not who we are, but we often see ourselves through their filter. These are learned behaviors. So the value in seeing these strong tidal waves of energy this way, these 3 forms, each in its own way, is we can recognize and express them specifically as they are in that moment. And that's where the healing enters. Most of us know by now the value of feeling all our emotions, yet for many of us, they are often vague. Even when they have us in their grip, we know we're unhappy, we know we're miserable, we know we're stuck, right? So today we're going to consider briefly how each of these energies have their own cause in early life. and also their own way of being calmed and supported and soothed. Even though we often feel some version of all three at the same time, each has its unique healing response. As we understand the original hurt early in life, clarity of understanding, and then feeling freely from that rock is where the healing happens. When we see the distress more clearly, we metabolize pain and we let go of our attachment to that past moment of pain. When we do this, the story dissolves and it's no longer needed to explain or justify anything. So when we cling to the story, we haven't felt the pain. You know, we hear, let go of the story, let go of the story. Yet remember, the story is not the enemy, it's just the messenger. Right? We want to receive the message from the story and say, thank you, I got it now. So I'm going to take a moment and bring in a visual of on the screen here. Bear with me while I do my little text stumbling. I can't tell you how much time I spent getting this already, and it's still not where I want it to be. So consider these three words, right? Hopeless, helpless, worthless. These are three primary energy currents in every human being. We all have moments feeling one, two, or all three, right? So the main way we can tell we still have these energies to resolve is when we see places where we hold back from actively engaging in life. This lack of engagement is not a weakness or a character defect. It's a wound. Early in life, our spontaneous energy was shut down or not supported enough to give us the full body joy of intentional movement into life. That's the greatest part of the human experience. Yet we all have places where that's missing, and we miss it, and we struggle with missing it. This is really self-agency. Right? To heal it, we have to feel it. To feel it, we have to see it. So I'm just going to say a few things about each one of these, where they start, right? Very early, often before we can even say our first word. Right? So we learn worthlessness. We feel worthless when our legitimate, essential needs for safety as a small being are not met. And the adults taking care of us aren't able to make us feel like the world is a safe place. Too often, this young part of us feels like nobody's here with me. There are people in the room, but they're not here with me. So we develop this sense, this experience that we're not important. We don't have any value. We're not worthy of time and attention. We're left on our own and learn to fear. Okay. Now, what the guide tells us is no matter how hard our parents try, no matter what good parents there are, this is inevitable. Okay. So worthlessness comes from not feeling safe. Just let that in for a moment. So the helplessness early in life sets in when, our natural toddler impulses to touch everything, play with anything, crawl everywhere, put everything in our mouth, that these are shut down in unskillful ways. So what happens is we don't learn to be brave and take risks through trial and error. We fear to learn. And finally, the hopelessness, and you can feel just how these are all really tied in together, right? So we learn hopelessness when our primary caregivers are not able to provide the basics of positive attention that make us feel like someone is really, truly there with us. That we as a small child are in fact the center of the universe, right? That's a real need, real developmental need. What's missing is this beautiful word, constancy. And in this place in us, there's a part that gives up and doesn't believe it's going to get better. So we form a personal identity. Our personality gets formed around each one of us, our own unique combination of these three energies. And it's really worth feeling into them here, where they are in you, right? Because understanding this helps us to uncover our real unmet needs that are still present to this day, no matter our age. It's now up to us to meet them. Yet we can't meet what we won't see. So, doing my little tech thing here again. So what we're going to do here is look together at, well, how do we deal with these three primary forces, right? How do we deal with the hopeless? How do we deal with the worthless? Well, what we do with worthlessness is realize that self-worth can still grow to this day with good caregiver bonding, right? That was missing originally. And now this parenting task is up to us, with a part of ourself that didn't get enough of it and is still waiting for it. So how do we do that? Well, really, all we have to do is turn to the real self and say, help me feel you here. Help me feel that you're always here. Help me know that you never take your eye off of me. Help me realize you've seen everything that's ever happened. So the hopelessness, the medicine is hopefulness, right? And the hopefulness grows as we learn to be reliable and dependable for ourselves in our struggles. This takes willingness to get up from every setback, right? Every failure, every train wreck. Yet we become genuinely hopeful that we can deal with whatever life has in store for us here in Earth School. And finally, with the helplessness, what we're looking for is empowerment, right? Being willing to learn through trial and error. Providing our own encouragement that's been missing, that can sustain us when we're struggling. And celebrate as we learn self-agency, right? We're learning to let our true nature, our spiritual self that is wise and caring and steadfast, teach us to love ourselves in the very most specific ways we've been missing. It's not our personality that's doing the reparenting. It's the real self. The personality listens and takes instructions from the real self. Because of our commitment and perseverance, we really want a full life, right? We don't want to wait anymore. So really what we're being invited to consider here is the primary healing of whatever we're going through, no matter how intense, how challenging, is to be the voice we've been waiting to hear all our life. Right? Letting go of that lifelong illusion, somebody's going to do that for us. You know, we hear a lot about self-love. Well, it's kind of a general thing, right? Like, what does that really mean? Where does the rubber hit the road of that? How do I really put that into the experience, the practice of it? Consider for now, and what we're holding, that self-love is the freedom to be yourself as you are right now. And know that it's safe. That you won't be punished or rejected for it. And what comes with that is compassion towards ourselves. And really all compassion is the ability and the willingness to connect to our feelings. To respond to our distress, our suffering with kindness. Rilke says it so beautifully. What goes on in your innermost being is worthy of your whole love. So I did find the slide that I was looking for. I'm going to put it up here, and then we're going to do some sharing together. So here are those 3: hopeless, helpless, and worthless, right? And what it takes to heal each one of these. The hopeless is constancy. I'm here with you. Yes, everything's falling apart. I'm here with you. Yes, this is so hard. I'm here with you. Helpless needs encouragement. Just to try. Just see what happens. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it. We'll try something else. All right? And the worthless is really our real need for safety. Right? I'm going to be here with you no matter what. So I want to have some inspiring here around this. Any questions yet, especially if you can feel any of these close by in you, right? Remember, these are elemental forces in a human being. There's not one of us that hasn't felt those three at times, or those three altogether, right? So the last thing I want to say is we often feel like there's something wrong with us when we feel these things. Yet remember who we are. We're love. These are things we learned. And what we're learning now is they're just things that we learned. It's not really who we are. And we're also learning what each of these things needs from us, right? And it's not like we have to find something. It's already in us, that love that we are, that we came here with. That love with an uppercase L, right? The spiritual being that's in this human form, right alongside the struggling human personality. So let's see what is coming up here for us together, by way of really just helping us find a place for this to land, and also know that just this morning we can have something we didn't have before, right? To take back into the life that's we're going to all return to when we leave our magic circle together, right? This is really life-changing, and you know, the guide says you've never been closer to freedom than you actually are right now. Consider that, right? Like, the lower self wants us to think it's so hard, it takes so long, there's so much work, you have to have 1,000 sessions, right? So to come back to you, Chris, I just want to say that, you know, we get hopeless about feeling hopeless. We feel worthless about feeling worthless, right? We feel helpless about feeling helpless, right?
Well, I just want to interject that the moment you chuckled with me, the anger went away, and then Yvonne joined. It was just really sweet. It was like, I think I felt seen. So, you know, it just like, boop, it went away.
Here it is, Chris. You're the poster child for this, right?
Right. So, Yvonne, I was just mentioning,
that's why whatever you got, bring it here right now. The hopeless, the worthless, the helpless, right? Like, just.
Yeah, I'm just saying that when Brian and then you joined in terms of seeing me about being angry, it just went poof, it just went away. It was just really nice. Yeah, so.
To be seen.
Yes, yes.
Frank.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I realized, you know, after your talk, that it is my inner child that feels like it's not supported. You know, my real self is here in the room with you guys and enjoying every moment of it, you know. But as I go through life, it's my inner child that feels like it's not supported. And I guess the truth of it is that my adult self, my real self, doesn't actually know how to nurture and support that inner child. Hasn't, you know, it's a Papworth concept, but it really hasn't been fully learned, you know, yet.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress constantly.
So Frank, what about this, the personality, the mind isn't the one to take care of this real unmet need? That it's a part of us already in us, the real self, the spiritual self, the divine self, that when we just turn to it and humbly say, help me, I don't know what to do with this kid. I don't know what to do with this part of myself.
Well, of course, my pride is telling me that I should know how to take care of that kid, you know, and it's like the part about saying, you know, becoming humble about it and saying, I need help from divine inspiration to show me how to take care of this, you know, wounded child. That's a whole nother step in the process too.
Okay. So let me bring it a little closer. Like, even to say divine inspiration, that sounds like something out there. I need to come in here, right? And really, the reality is there's a presence, a being already inside of you that is infinitely wise, patient, understanding, caring, loving, and is devoted just to you, right? This is the mind doesn't want to let this in. The mind thinks I'm going to have to give up everything I'm holding on to, right? This is the primary conundrum of the human being. Right? We just don't want to surrender. No matter how wearisome it gets, trying to do it all from up here.
No, I get it. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So try this, Frank, in the hours and the days ahead. Where are you? Show yourself to me. I don't see you. That's a legitimate thing to say to the real self.
Uh-huh.
Like, come on, I need some signs.
Yeah.
You're going to get them.
Okay.
Be ready. Bill, you raised your hand, Bill Prindle. Did you raise your hand? Was it like in support to Frank?
No. So what I'm noticing is that I didn't check in earlier. I'm Bill and I live in Charlottesville. And when I check into that, I'm just noticing how down and disconnected I've been. And partly that's had to do with having COVID the last 2 weeks.
Oh.
I was just so physically beaten down that it's like I wasn't really processing much emotionally. I just slept a lot and felt shitty and tried to just go through the basics. And it feels like just now, like last night, for the first time, I was not sleeping well because I was having feelings. Whereas before I just felt so physically shitty that I just slept and slept. And so now these feelings are coming up, and it's the helpless, hopeless, worthless pieces really play for me because I take, pride. I have a lot of pride in my physical well-being. I have dodged this fucking virus for 3.5 years, god damn it. And now the fucking thing got me. I was so pissed off, but really humiliated. Like my pride took it right on the fucking chin. Like, oh yeah, you think you're so, your immune system is so fucking great. Demonstrably not true. So, I've been dealing with that, and that plays up the worthlessness big time. Like, yeah, you thought you were such a hot shit, blah, 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 blah. Well, and also then I began to notice how much I take this negative pride in being miserable. It's like that poem Invictus, which gets so much praise, which is really about celebrating, and to me, celebrating the negative pleasure of being miserable and separate and alone. So I'm just having to deal with that. Like, yeah, actually, I get some negative payoff by being weak and miserable and out of it because I really don't have to do shit. I don't have to do anything. I can just wallow in my misery and I get off. I get a free pass, right? So all that's been coming up. So thanks for creating this opportunity to process some of that. I don't recommend getting COVID, but it's been an important learning for me to, I don't know, rejoin the human race on some level. Because what the data tells me that most human beings have now had this virus.
So Bill, if you're willing, just look at the screen here, and some of us really can relate and understand. Right now, our own version is close by, and I can feel my own. It's not easy to feel, yet it also feels good to feel alongside with you because I'm not judging myself so harshly, witnessing you expressing your own, right? Like, that's the miracle of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
can relate to everything you said. It's like Just take a moment, whoever really can relate and connect with Bill, let's just send them some milk of human kindness, encouragement, support, safety, right? We're here with you, buddy,
Thank you.
as you are. Yeah. So see who else wants to take a dip, bringing your own experience here for the help and letting it go together. Helpless, hopeless, worthless, learned behaviors. Yeah.
I'm connecting with the helpless part, and going back to childhood, I had a lot of positive stuff, but my mom wasn't there so much. She didn't know how to do it. Her mother was an orphan, so she didn't know how to do it. So I kind of learned that I had to do everything that had to do with taking care of that aspect of myself. And I feel that today, and I push myself like, okay, you should be able to do it. You've always been able to do it. You're strong. You can take care of everything, everybody. And the truth is, no, I can't. And not only that, I don't even want to. But I feel like I have to. And lately, I hope Rodney will say something. It's okay for me to say something about this. He's been sick and has had a really serious prostate infection, which has put him like out on the couch for 2 weeks. And I'm like, well, I can take care of everything. I can get rid of everything. I can do everything. Oh man, I'm tired. I don't want to. I need some help. I need some help here. And then this morning, I even said to my dog, I got enough on my plate. If you get really sick, I don't know if I can handle this. And then he got bitten by a red ant, and he's allergic to those things. So he was like shaking, and the dog lays down and looks like he's going to die. Luckily, I know about APIS, and of course I can fix him. Of course I can do that. But I'm tired, and I don't want to have to do that. I need some, what did you say, encouragement? Sure, this too shall pass. Telling myself, and I can sometimes go into the breathe, expand, know that it's okay, know that I'm okay, know that I have my own help and in internal and external God helpers. And then it kind of comes and goes. I feel okay about it, and then I go back to, oh shit, I have to do everything myself.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's where I'm at right now.
Thank you, Pam, for sharing so deeply. So, in light of what we've been working with today, can you feel the helplessness in trying to do it all by yourself? Just the energy of helplessness.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I just went all the way down to the bottom line, which is I'm going to die. I can't do it and I'll die. So if I don't do it, I'll die. So that's the baby place.
Right.
So yeah, I can I don't go to that place consciously so much, but I feel it now.
Yeah, and the value in coming to the primary triad here. So in that helplessness, there is naturally a hopelessness. I'm going to die. And a worthlessness, like, what's wrong with me? I can't keep going, or I don't want to keep going, or I don't feel like I can keep going, right? And you see what happens with these learned patterns, we naturally associate them with what we're going through right now. Like when you're navigating, Pam, utterly understandable that you're going to feel these energy currents, right? Yeah, what we're considering is, you know, it's a learned response that's waiting for something from ourselves. And you said already, there are moments where you can really give yourself what you need. Yet we also need others to do it with us, right? And like we did with Bill, can you take a moment here and just say, like, what's coming up in other human beings? Listening to you, watching you, taking in what you're sharing. And just, wow, that's a lot, Pam.
Yeah, and I want to say to you, Bill, also that you just expanded me and helped me feel so much better when you just talked about yourself. Made me smile.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm breathing in a little bit deeper. And those of us that are feeling our own close by, breathing into it ourselves a little bit deeper. Thank you, Pam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Elisa.
While you were talking about this thing, hopelessness, worthless, and helplessness, I thought that I was going through what I was going through in the last 2 weeks, let's say. I felt really depressed, and I realized how much effort it takes to reparent ourselves, and the difficulty is for me to get in touch with the real self. At the same time, I think I'm learning. I'm really and then I did it actually. To reparent myself, to talk to myself, to ask for help, and I don't know, but something has changed in the last few days. The last few days, I mean, all these difficulties I'm experiencing are at the personality level, of course, and but somehow something is happening, something is changing, and I feel like, yes, life, it really is supporting me. Life, there is a support there, and even though there's so much effort, even though there's really so much effort to put in, but at the end, we should never forget that I realized it in a real life situation that that the situation that I hope for, I mean, that went not so well 10 years ago, but it was for my good. It was for my good, and I realized 10 years later that was a good thing, you know. So this is encouraging me. This is encouraging me. And for the time being, I feel there is no time for depression. I have no time now for being depressed, because I'm fully, I'm for the time being, I'm encouraged to proceed. I proceed in this way, and at the same time, I've got the fear to fall back.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work well.
Right. Thank you, Elisa. Really, it is hard work to stay with it. Get up over and over and over again, right? And we question ourselves because it's so hard. Why is it so hard for me? What's wrong with me? Yet what we're considering today is that the hopelessness, the helplessness, the worthlessness, these are things we just learned early in life, and they're still spinning, right? And all of heaven and earth wants to help us right now. Each one of us in our own life, right? All of heaven and earth is saying, this can change today, right? If you just turn to me and let me in. Yet, we're feeling hopeless. We're feeling worthless. Right? We're feeling helpless. Right? So in order to let in the spiritual reality of everything is here that we need, we've got to turn to these three parts of us and just give them something, right? I'll stop judging you for a minute, okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Richard, Jen Bond, you raised your hand.
Yes, I did. So I just want to say, this is your presentation today is so incredibly timely for me. I wish I had had pom-poms here so I could be going like this, because it's just such perfect timing. I've been involved in the path work for 30 years. And, you know, in the last 2 weeks, I mean, I have been working steadily. And in the last couple of weeks, you know, gone even more deeply. You know, I thought I had already, but I've just gone more and more deeply, and especially the worthless part of that triangle, I have been able to go, you know, I wasn't consciously saying worthless, but that's what it was. And I have gone even more deeply, and yeah, more into the safety, and, you know, largely via compassion. And so I just wanted to say that I just feel so fortunate. And thank you so much. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. And I just had to laugh with the Elisa, the comment about what it takes so much effort to be parenting, reparenting. I just, oh my gosh. Yeah. Thank you.
Saida.
Yeah, I was reflecting on our discussion tonight, and I guess for me is it's a great deal to accept that I actually am hopeless and like feel hopeless and helpless and worthless sometimes. And I'm talking out of my own experience and my own work with that. And I connect it very much to my resistance, like I have this great deal of resistance of accepting and using my defense mechanisms and trying to avoid to accept. So for me, it all starts a little bit like earlier. It's for me, it's to accept, to be able to see and to accept, and then using this loving parent attitude to that. So that is just my reflection on what was going on while we were talking about this great triangle that you have presented tonight, Brian.
And what's the feeling right now, Saida, for you right here as you share this with us?
I feel open, like I feel open and very much released in a way. This sense of releasing, because I cannot say that I always kind of accept what's going on inside of me. I still have this resistance, and just talk about it and just mention it gives me a great sense of like actually acceptance. Now I said it and I know it's there, and also accepting in a loving way without being judgmental of what's going on, because I do feel resistance and I can be judgmental towards that.
Yeah. Thank you, Saida. And again, what you're bringing up is that self-love, which sounds so hard. It's just accepting this is how I feel right now. And there's a part of me that can just be with it without thinking it's all of who I am, right? Like, even if it feels very strong, it's just a wave of feeling. Thank you, Saida. Well, we've got time for just one or two more before we do our closing. Like, who's got some worthless, some hopeless, and some helpless that you'd like to leave here? Empty your pockets on the table. You don't have to take it with you. Right?
Yeah, I can go. Thank you for your articulation of those. I'm trying to write a PhD right now, and I've been going through a lot of these and stuck in the writing process for more than 3 years. And I the one that struck me the most, of course, the helplessness of I'm not good enough, or that's more like worthless. What I felt was, and also through the sharing of Bill and Frank, that really helped me see that it's not accepting the feeling of worthlessness. I'm not accepting. I go to pride. I should be able to do that. This should be easy for me. This should be whatever it is, the story that I tell myself about me, that it shouldn't be difficult to write a PhD for me, right? And so I see, I don't know if that's something what I'm onto here, but I feel like pride is like my defense against all of these, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you visualize for a moment a presence, an energy looking at you that understands exactly how you're feeling and is compassionate and says, this is so hard. It's amazing you're still doing it. Hang in there, right? There's nothing wrong with you. This is exhausting. You just feel that energy coming in because it's coming from us, yet it's also coming from something in you, that real self, that spiritual self that sees everything you go through all day and all night, dancing around trying to get this dissertation done, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I really got also what Saide was saying. The first step is really to accept the feeling. That's the biggest one.
And have an experience of acceptance. And we're going to do that together now. I invite you to go inside again. Gently close your eyes. And hear these words, first from my voice, and then from a voice inside you. Love is what I was born with. Fear is what I've learned. Love is what I was born with. Helplessness is just something I learned. Love is who I am. Worthlessness is just something I've learned. Love is my true nature. Hopelessness is something I learned. I commit to learning to let these learned behaviors go that no longer serve me. To come back any way I can, over and over again, to the truth of who I really am. And that all of heaven and earth is here to help me. And here again, that voice you recognize saying, I'm here with you. I'm here with you. And opening your eyes and taking yourself off mute and letting your hands come up and really bring this to those that are here together, brothers and sisters. I'm here with you. Say it in
Here with you.
I'm here with you.
I'm here with you.
Here with you.
And then
Here with
feel it coming in.
I'm here.
I'm here with you.
Here with you.
I'm here with you.
I'm here with you.
I'm here with you.
I'm here with you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying. Thank you, everybody. And this is our landing spot. And if you want to stick around for 15 minutes of coffee and donuts, you're welcome to.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Brian. Thanks, everybody.
Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Brian.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Thank you, co-creators and collaborators, fellow villagers.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Hello.